Hallelujah. I think this works. Not exactly what I had planned. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, OBS. Not exactly the best advertisements to give OBS. Um, but yeah, I should be live. This seems to be working. It's not crashing my computer. That's awesome. It's rather annoying though that all my fancy features are gone. Um, But yeah, rather than that, than it's constantly crashing, I guess. Um, yeah, awesome. I guess. It makes me a little sad that it gives me so many issues. Um, that's what it is. So, waiting for everybody to nicely tune in, and then meanwhile, I will grab myself some tea. But oh my goodness, that is definitely different. Um, I guess the good thing is this isn't kind of crashing my computer. Um, and I can see stuff, but I don't have all my fancy switch screens and stuff like that, which means no yarn inspirations from websites to be watched together. No double face if I flip the camera around for the projects I'm working on. It's going to be a quite basic stream today because apparently whatever update they did to OBS is crashing it. And me, I definitely need a new computer, but I knew that for a while because as I mentioned in the other stream, and good morning, Lisa, um, I genuinely need a new computer. It's starting to do funny things. It's starting to be old. It's starting to be yeah. It's not happy when I ask too much of it. Let's just keep it like that. That was a very, very mildly explanation of the current situation um, of my computer. That is on the wish list for next year. Intentionally first doing it next year due to how tax systems and so on works down here. I'd rather have the expense next year than I'll have it this year, due to basically in short, earnings versus taxes and so on. And if I buy it next year, I can subtract that from some of my earnings, and I'll have to pay less tax. And this year, it's been pretty okay in the sense of that I will be able to deduct less in the sense of because I already have one big purchase this year. So it's kind of intentional. And given the fact that we are so close to the new year, I hope my computer will last me until then. With a bit of luck, it's just a question of the streaming software getting fixed, but who knows when that fix will come. I don't know what else it could be. It every time it works really nicely in the streaming software until I click the button go live, or stream, or and then it crashes. So it's the streaming process itself it crashes with, which is really, really sad. But hey, we are here. The backdrop view here is a little bit larger than the others. You can see a little bit more on behind me and back me, but I'm sure that is fine. Yeah, further than that, I hope everybody is kind of making their way here, even though that this was a bit of a struggle. It took me 50 minutes almost to solve my streaming issues. Like my computer kept going black. And I only thing I could do was basically rebooting because normally I could get the task manager in front, and when I get the task manager open, um, it didn't open the task manager. I could press open task manager and it will go back being black screen. And that's kind of how I kept going, like cycling around. Like okay, black screen. Okay, I can open the command where I can click open task manager. I clicked open task manager and it went back black. Like it just kept going on. So it's definitely a bug in the streaming software. That is my conclusion. Hello, Revenant. So right now I'm streaming directly from backend YouTube, though still be on my computer, and it's not complaining. So it is most definitely the streaming software. Um, my graphic drivers, I have no idea. It's an old computer, so it's basically just saying it needs replaced, which is gonna be next year. Um, what a nightmare. What a day. And it's the week, like December has already been crazy enough as is, to be honest. Lots of things going on here. How much did I reach to crochet since last update? Well, if Susan is here, I kind of hope she made it back in here. Bless you all for those being patient enough, catching and keeping up with my. I think I've reached to create 4 or 5 streams to even manage to go live. Um, the amount I reached to crochet since last time covers 2 grinding squares out of 6 that I need, plus a side, so 1/4 of a round of Fleur, which means that I was very optimistic that I could finish Fleur. Now I'm a bit less optimistic. I definitely need to focus on Fleur, but I'm not gonna bring Fleur with me either to Denmark for Christmas. So yeah, I've been busy. It was a good trip, thank you. Lisa asked how my trip was, and of course, Roman has happy to see me at any rate. I'm really happy to see you guys as well. I've really been missing you. My trip was great. I saw a lot of people that I hadn't seen for a while. That was amazing. Um, when I was there, so I made obviously I made some money from my business, which is great. Um, that's also kind of related to the tax aspect of the new computer and so on. It's I had a really big purchase in the earlier this year because of the so I import things from the US actually. That is my base materials, and I did that import when they were starting threatening with these tariffs, and I was like, okay, what's likely to happen is that when the US impose tariffs on the EU will impose similar tariffs to the US. That actually didn't happen. The EU just sort of accepted the fact that US slashed on tariffs. But I still went ahead and made my order. Also, the dollar was quite low compared to the euro. So in the end, it was still a good deal for me to do. And that is what I've kind of like been working this year on paying back off, so to say, or to replenish my work accounts. And that's what I've done. But to go ahead and buy a new computer this year would basically work-wise, because I will use it for work as well. Um, will put me in the negative, and I can't subtract the negative next year. So I'd rather just have a little income and pay tax from that than having no income, pay no tax, but earn a lot more next year and pay more tax. So it's kind of me postponing and limiting the amount of tax I have to pay by just waiting a few weeks. It's that simple. So it has to survive. So as I said, I reached to do 2 grinding squares while I was gone. That is for the Daisy Days bag. They're looking like this. Ta-ta. One, two. That's basically what I reached to do, plus 1/4 of a side on Fleur. Um, because yeah, I was busy. So at the event, I met a lot of people. That was awesome. We drove there Monday evening. Sunday we helped building up. Sunday also, the doctors called, or actually my mom called because she was at the doctor's for the doctor's appointment after they have um, reviewed her latest PET scan. Um, then also we kept building up. They had the first event before the actual international competition there for the local people on Tuesday evening, where I was working. Wednesday I was working there most of the day, plus people started coming in for the international event. I was asked if I wanted to help do the moderation and announcing of the finals, so I did that on top of making made to measure earplugs. Um, and that was basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, non-stop, getting up at like 6 in the morning, going to bed at 11 in the evening, and in between was mainly full-time, either shooting range or eating or talking to people, not in a chance of sitting down and doing nothing but crocheting. That was definitely out of the order. I had it with me there in case that there was half an hour somewhere where there was nothing to do, but that just didn't happen. Sunday, we drove over Germany to get home, and we had to pick up some stuff in Germany on the way. So that took a bit longer to get home. And therefore, um, we were home at like 4 in the afternoon Sunday, and I was just wrecked. And basically, I could go straight to bed if I had wanted to. But I didn't reach to crochet much either. And then, um, yeah, didn't reach to do much either yesterday or Monday or yesterday because I've just been catching up on work basically. Now it's kind of like the first day when it's a little bit more like, gee, that's how crazy it's been. Like I reached to do a quarter of a side of Fleur and then those two grinding squares, which is the I need to do. So I need to do four more of these. So they will be sewn together and then one more here, and then that would be one side of the bag, and then four more on three more on the other side. So that's pretty much it. So that's yeah. Um Meanwhile, Ramadan says, I'm tired just listening to all that. No wonder you did not get much crafting done. Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's been a crafting vacation, but it's not been a vacation where I could craft in the sense of it's also been a vacation from work, but I've just been working. Technically see I've been working and it was a lot of work. It was a great event. I was really happy catching up with a lot of the people. So I did enjoy my time, but I was like totally wrecked. And Sunday when I was in my bed here at home, laying flat, ready to close my eyes, my feet were still tingling from all of the days of the walking, standing, like constantly being on my feet. I could definitely feel it. Yesterday on the range when I was training for the first time in a almost 2 weeks period, my feet were telling me that I was torturing them, which is yeah, it's just been so much on my feet. It's crazy. But it's been good. Like I've enjoyed myself. It's just not been crafting friendly at all. um Lisa's asking for the results of the PET scan. I wish it was better news. We all did. It could have been worse news, um, but I'm trying to be optimistic. So the results of the PET scans were first inconclusive as well, and they said they wanted to bring it with them on the medical conference, where both the hematologists and the lung doctors and the radiologists and all those it's like three or four different specialists are going to talk about these scans. We had the results of those yesterday, and the result is that it is unfortunately still inconclusive. So compared to the PET scan in October, the newest PET scan shows that some of the spots that was lightening up are less, which is positive, but other spots are lightening more up than they did on the last PET scan. Um, it also looks like she had a small increase of liquid in her lungs, which to me indicates that we still have a question of lymphoma running in the background. Um, but I can't make that conclusion, but it's my feeling. The doctors can't say if it's lymphoma or if it could be the sarcoidosis that she's been known to have before she was diagnosed with lymphoma. The issues is that the only way to diagnose if she still has lymphoma left is to surgically remove a lymph node, but the lymph nodes that is, how can I say it, large enough or active enough, lightening up, is located in her body on such locations where it's surgically almost impossible to take them out for with a quick surgery to test. So think about things that sitting behind the lungs, something like that. So it would require a larger surgery to actually diagnose. Therefore, the doctors have decided that my mom is to undergo a new CT scan in 3 months' time, and until then, we wait. Um, the world is still unknown. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I'm concerned. No wonder. Um, she claims she's feeling good, so that's a good thing. Oh, thank you guys. It's I genuinely don't want to cry, but it's a sign, I guess, that I care much for my parents. Oh, good lord. I'm trying to be optimistic. We haven't gotten the message that she's terminal ill, um, but it almost feels like it. Uh, yeah, it sucks. She's optimistic. She's feeling a lot better than she did a year ago, so that's good. Um, but it feels, yeah, that message was really, really not nice. Um, as they say, and that's the positive part of this story, um, the change of the lymph nodes is limited, and therefore, if what they can't see in the scan that they can't define as cancer, or they can't say it's cancer, and therefore they don't do anything before they're sure if it's still cancerous. If it's cancerous, it's not aggressive. So that's positive, I guess. It means that we at least have more time. Um, and as long as she feels good, yeah, that is the most important. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to catch up on this. Um, yeah. We all hope for a positive outcome. With a bit of luck, that should be possible. Oh man. I I felt pretty acceptable of the situation, yet I'm not completely. Um, Meanwhile, the news is also that um, um, we made a complaint with the system of maltreatment of a case, and she has been granted that it's indeed been maltreated, and she's gonna get some reimbursement, like financial reimbursement of all this. But it's not gonna make up for life. Yeah. We'll see. Can't do much more than that. Be patient and hope for the best. Yeah, Fleur. Oh my goodness. And yes, crying is a good thing. That's not what I'm saying. I guess I just had planned not to do it on a stream. Oh, yes. Let's see. Here we are, Fleur. It's not changed much since the last one. Let's see. I'm just trying to keep track of all of my yarn here. Right now, it seems to have its own little game. And once I've kind of figured out where I have all my strands, then, my friends, we can turn the camera around. I am working teal. Hello, Amanda. Was just chatting about my mom. Not the best of news. I guess also not the worst of news. Um, as I said to my mom when the doctors had spoken with her, is that okay? We know you're sick. We know you're still sick. We don't know with what exactly, but let's just assume it's the worst. Because then we don't, at least then I don't get disappointed. Um, I think, I think I just had a really light hope. It was good because she was feeling so much better. Um, but that was apparently a little too optimistic. Oh yeah, and I have streaming problems today, so I'm doing the old school backend YouTube directly stream because my streaming software definitely is crashing. Um, I need to find the pattern too because obviously everything I had prepared and had opened and ready crashed with the whole computer when it decided to say, "I don't want to be here anymore." Um, yeah, there we are. Row 115. I did one full side and I did this much. And I am gonna see if so you're gonna be without my pretty face today, but you are gonna be with this. I guess that's the best I can offer. Which I hope is all right. The good thing, of course, of this version is that it's easier for me to actually keep track of the stream. So hey, um, there are benefits and disadvantages to everything. Yes, I'll spend Christmas in Denmark. We'll drive next week, Tuesday. And yes, she will definitely enjoy things. I'm sure. She's doing her best, and she also feels better. And she's also going to have cataract surgery in the new year, which by the looks is going to be for a new CT scan. And she is free to call at any moment before then. I think um, the way the doctor was speaking, it felt a little bit like defined. Um, because the doctor were being like, it's not big enough to take a lymph node out to grow it to see if it's cancerous, um, and it's just a waiting game, really. So I'm I'm trying to think of it like this. It gives her 3 months to recover and hopefully figure out what's next in case that CT scan is providing us with a negative result. Um, I think that is how I have to look at it. Um, Lisa says I've been crying a lot this week too. My father-in-law had a heart attack on Tuesday and is in the hospital awaiting an no angiogram and stent. Oh goodness. It's really just sad periods all over. The positive side, he's past the most dangerous parts and new positive vibes, Lisa. And here's thank you. Need to send him 1.5 hours away, stent, but awaiting a blizzard, so don't know if they will send him now. Oh my goodness. I hope weather at least treats everybody kindly. On a crafting note, Jan the Yarn Addict is running a sale on his Ravelry page, 20% off all his paid patterns, so now is a good time to grab a few. Christmas shopping. Susan says I'm doing the Easy Lap blanket by Daisy Cottage Designs. I am cracking on Fleur by Anke Wintermans here. And yeah, it all sucks a bit. and it's cool. It's it's not the end. Have to look at it like this. But I did not feel that they presented a lot of options. But I guess it's because the doctors want to be 100% sure they're still dealing with the same. So yeah. The weather is clear right now, but the next few hours is supposed to be complete white without. Oh my goodness. And Lisa is working on an octagon cardi for her son with the fairyland yarns. Okay. Looking forward to see that one complete. Meanwhile, I'll just crack along here and, I'll hope for the best. I think I need to stop counting the hours I spent on Fleur. And I'm slightly in doubt if we'll reach it. It's not full 40. I need 14 and a half rows before complete, and it takes longer and longer to complete them. 2, 4, 6. It takes like a couple of hours for a row. So yeah, that requires patience. A lot of patience. Yeah. Um, I'm working on a square of 10 by 10 of 25 for my red hat granny blankets. Okay. Well, Lisa is on the 5th out of 8 available. And Rev finished all his other whips. Way to go. Well, I technically currently have 2 whips going. Where one, I have a small goal of having those other 4 grannies finished before we drive and sewn together, because I have a feeling that it would be beneficial to me to have sorted by then. 4, 6, 7. Or I will bring, um, what's it called? My knitting needles with me to Denmark to do another chunky knit beanie in the red ones, where I wanted to size up the needles. That is something I've been debating as well as an alternative. Let's see, 8 stop crochets I've done. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes. It's just to have something easy in the car, and I will have to drive some of it as well. I thought I would spend more time crocheting in the car Sunday, but I was so worn out. I wasn't worth anything. And actually, Sunday I had the feeling that I was probably gonna go sick again. Like I was coughing a lot more than I used to, and I still have a few periods where I'm coughing with. So I think I might have caught a light cold in Luxembourg, which is like my 3rd cold this fucking autumn. Sorry for my words, but Jesus, can't be true that I get so lucky, or quote unquote unlucky, that I've had so many colds this autumn. Like, how is my luck on that? It's not really any good, is it? The shawl I was working on last time came out amazing. I can't share this. I'm sorry. I can look at it, but I can't I can't share my screen because I'm not on my streaming software. Well, I can actually, according to this, but maybe I can. I don't know. Um, I'm not sure how it's gonna work. Yeah, no, better not. It's technical. Um, so I'm sorry, I can't share it as such, but the link is there if you are watching via phone or computer and whatnot. I love the ridges. Okay, so I need to keep track again on what am I doing. I need to do 71517. I want to get this card finished by Friday. I'm supposed to finally get my Black Friday yarn then. I want to cast on 2 projects. Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh, I want to do a bunch of projects, but I am still focused on Fleur, and I need to focus on Fleur if I really want to finish it this year. That would be awesome. Um, any other projects basically isn't important. Um, and I'm behind. There is less than 15 days left, which means that I need to do a row a day. And guess what? That is not going to happen because I will be in Denmark some of the time and I will have to work some of the time and have other obligations. Like tonight, I'm not home most of the time. Thursday, I have a meeting. I also have a single movie to record. Um, Friday, we have Christmas lunch. So it's all of these upcoming days is gonna be like if I'm happy if I'll do like a quarter of a side on Fleur. That's been progress. And then it's the weekends, but do I really have time this weekend? I have some time, but I don't only have time. And I also need to spend some of the time to wrap up Christmas presents when my partner isn't home, because obviously I have some Christmas presents I need to wrap up. That's for him. Uh, One of them they wrapped up in the store, which looks nice, but I have to rewrap it because it's too obvious what it is, and I want to surprise him a bit. Um, there is a single last Christmas present on its way. Um, it should arrive sometime this week. Um, yeah, it's all stuff like that, right? Like, whew, December is a maniac. I should have been more diligent this summer. 2, 4, 6, 7, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7. Perfect. Then it's 3 double, 3 single, 3 double, 3 single, also simple. Um, Further than that, we're doing well. I still need to cake up those 2 green yarns, which I guess I'm not too surprised about. Um, but there's 3.5 rows before I need them, so I'll have to do that tomorrow too, because I definitely don't finish all that today. But if I do, I'm still cool with waiting for tomorrow, but I really don't think I'll do because I am realistic. I may have an hour after dinner to work on it. That's at best. So I'll be honest and say, shortly when my stream software wasn't working, I was just debating on being like, okay, some swearing words, and then just do my own thing today. But we did manage to get it sorted because I was missing you guys. I haven't seen you for a while. I just didn't expect that it had to be the old-fashioned YouTube way. It took forever for that to get back up. Part of that had to do with YouTube needing to recognize um, that I wasn't using my streaming software and had to recognize my um, my which webcam I wanted to use and stuff like that. It just took longer than anticipated. But here we are, and it's finally working. And it didn't like me having trying to do multiple streams at the same time either. So yeah. In conclusion, I need to wait for them to update the stream software, and I need a new computer. That, my friends, is what I need. And my nose is still running after all this. Um, but yeah, mom herself thinks she's doing great, so that's positive. I think the reason I'm a bit pessimistic about these doctors is because one of them said, and it's valid, it's absolutely valid words. They were being like, yeah, and if it is cancerous, then the next question is if you can handle another chemotherapy cure, because it makes no sense giving you a cure if you're going to die from it halfway. And I'm like, "Bah." It makes totally sense. I'm just being like, oh, do we need to talk about this like kind of right now? And then she was like, and then it's better to have quality in life rather than, which is true. In the end, my mom gets to decide. But oh my goodness, I definitely did not like those words. That was very confronting, to be honest. Also, I still need to figure out what I'm exactly gonna be doing on Monday. Not Monday, sorry, on Friday. I will probably go live, but it might be a shorter stream because we have a Christmas lunch Friday evening, and I will definitely need time to get ready for that. So I may option just to do a short live because um 2, 4, 6. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Let's remember to give Steen a thumbs up on this stream today. Much appreciated. um, Rev says it's no wonder you've been getting sick with all the stress you've been under between your mom, you, and uncertain work situation, plus going to big events. Yeah, it's like it's been piling on me for sure this year. It's been 2025 has not exactly been a good year. I think that is very fair to say. It's definitely not been a good year. There has been good things happening, but I would not classify it as a good year. um, it's been a bit of a rough year. Um, but yeah, life goes on, and I know for sure my mom wouldn't want me to stop my life either. Um, though some aspects does feel that I'm putting a bit on hold um, because of uncertainty. I'm being like, yeah, sorry, but some things are just more important, which is true. Um, For basic cutting, I'm preferring this octagon construction instead of the hexy construction. Okay. I'll admit I haven't done many cardigans. Um, I have plenty of plans, as you see. I just probably won't start on them until the new year, except for the the bag. I've started on that already, but I'm not expecting to finish anything either. Reverend says definitely more of a Pirelli than a Goodyear. Yeah, would could say that. It's definitely not been a Goodyear tire this year. My goodness, it's been a really, really, I don't know. It's been a sucky year. 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. Don't forget to hydrate. Mm. I have my Christmas tree. Oh, well, it's not Christmas tree, it's winter glow, but it's Christmas alike because it's orange peels and cinnamon. So it feels like Christmas trees. Uh, da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a rough year for sure. Definitely done my trials back and forth. Put my words in for a potential other job on top, um, which has then it sounded like I had a decent chance. Um, and then they decided to postpone the idea. Then, well, as I told to my friend who recommended me for the job, and it would have worked fine with my current job, so I could have had both. He was being like, you know, unfortunately, I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I'm fine because I still have my current job, which I'm happy with, and I don't intend to give it up or something like that. It's, no rush, don't worry, we're good, which is true. Um, so something good did happen this year, right? I had the extension on my contract, stuff like that. Okay, I need to check. I think it's 8. Yeah, it should be. Oh, that nose is really running. Yeah, it's 8. So I'm almost on the end of the side, and then we need to flip the whole thingy quarter of around, which means this row is halfway through. Hallelujah. I'll be happy if we can complete teal fully this row today. But technically I am, how many rows am I behind? Let's see. If I want to finish no later than New Year's Eve, from today until New Year's Eve is 14 days. That means once I'm finished with this row, I have 14 rows to go. That's a row a day. But that's not going to happen because 23rd until with 10 to 6 I'm gone. That's -4. So I need to catch up 4 rows between now and New Year's Eve. But I also have all of the other obligatory things. That means that I will have to do a lot this coming weekend. This is my quick math. Um, I fear, my friends, that I may run short. Um, Also, New Year's Eve is a Wednesday. I'm also not so sure I'll go live on New Year's Eve because I need to prep for some dinner. We're getting guests over. I have to work also. Um, so I may postpone that. We'll have to see. 2, 4, 6, 7. Then I believe it's like 6 here. 5 with this one. Then 6. Then it's 3 in a corner. It is. Oh my goodness. I already remember this. That is awesome. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be honestly, it's just gonna be close if I'll finish this year. Um, we're gonna make a try for it. I was very optimistic. Some of you guys were also quite optimistic on my behalf on the last Jan Talk video that I posted Friday. Personally, being realistic with everything I need to do, there is a risk we will first have it finished the weekend after New Year's. But if that is how it's gonna be, then that is how it's gonna be. Um, who would have thought that this year was gonna run like this? Nobody would have thought that a year ago. A year ago, it only sucked that I was unemployed. Now multiple things suck. I went through my training results as well yesterday, and I was being like, oh my goodness, that's horrible. Like, I'm not even close to be where I would be fine with having things. Everything is just, it's a really year, right? Ugh. Oh, well, it's gonna be fine in the end, eventually. Amanda says it's better to finish it late. Rushing it might cause mistakes. It needs to be frogged. I totally agree. So generally, this is why I'm currently only working on this when, well, I'm only working on this basically. As I said, well, I do have those 2 grinding squares. That needs to become 6 and sewn together. I kind of want them done before driving off to Denmark because in worst case in the car I can work on them. But I am very likely to take that red acrylic yarn with me and some bigger needles. I think I want to see how it works up on 8 millimeters. I did them on 7, which should have worked, but I'm inclined to say maybe they should have been done on 8. So I'll bring the 8 millimeters with me. Because I'm not gonna bring Fleur with me on Christmas. And yes, please remember my thummies. We can also just celebrate the old pagan New Year on April 1st. You will 100% finish it by then, so technically by the next year, yes. Oh, thank you, Revenant. You're such a kind person. Maybe that is indeed the solution here. Ah. And Merry Christmas. Yes. As I said, I am going to try to be live on Friday. It's probably going to be one of these simple lives like this one because, hey, obviously, this works. I just can't do all those fancy split screens because, yeah, my streaming software definitely doesn't want to do that. And I'm not sure if it's a computer that's just too old to run the newest update of the software or if it's the software itself because it happens when I press go live, like press stream. It doesn't happen when I just open the program. I can open the program. That's not an issue. It's physically streaming when it crashes. Oh, thank you so much. I would normally play this absolutely wonderful movie for you saying, thank you, members, party sounds and all that stuff. I can't do that because, well, tech issues. I promise you that you will get it another time. Maybe I just need to consider a whole different system. But um, first, in that event, I'll need a computer. And I'll probably spend some time this Christmas looking for which I want. The next challenge I have is I need one with a Nordic keyboard, and I need it from a company that's willing to send it as an ICL shipment to the Netherlands, which means basically that they do this tax forwarding thingy because I'm a business, and when I'm purchasing from a non-EU an EU country, I do not need to pay value-added taxes and stuff like that. Did succeed last time, but we can have our own celebration with emojis and blackjack. We definitely can. Happy days, happy days. I'm such appreciative, and I hope that Mariana will be appreciative as well. I'm less appreciative of my streaming software, but maybe I need to look at a different one. If that's definitely how it's gonna play annoying, then that is what I have to do. Lisa says, "Oh man, now I have to run. I have to go for some blood work this morning." Take care, Lisa. I will definitely see you maybe on Friday. I'll be here shortly on Friday. I just don't promise that I will be there for a full stream due to later commitments on Friday. Yes, Ref. I use or used, however you want to say it, OBS. OBS decided to crash on me, and I couldn't roll it. Or I could maybe figure out to roll it back, but I couldn't find the right files on where to do it. So I decided that was not going to be an option. It looked too technical for what it was worth. I'm debating if I should just uninstall it and try to reinstall it if that will work, but I'm not sure because I think it's just bugged. Yeah, but StreamYard is a paid option. I don't want to pay for it. OBS is free. So I need a non-paid option. I don't want all these extra logos on my stream saying, this streamer is using this and this and this. And I don't want to pay for removing that. then I guess I'd rather be basic like this. Even though not ideal. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Open for suggestions. I need to check into options. But OPS worked really well until the update I did today. As I said, OBS also only crashes on me as soon as I can select the stream that I'm gonna stream and everything, and then I press go stream and it goes black. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That could help. I just haven't done it yet. So that is something I have to do when I have more time on my hands. It could have been corrupted. Not impossible. Or the new update made it no longer viable with my current computer. It's old. My current computer is 5 years old, if not older. But 5 years, give or take. And it's screaming of me that it needs. Oh, that was too many. That it needs to be renewed. Which is going to be a couple of grand. Sweet. Please hear the irony in my voice. Do, do, do. But yes, as I said, we are going to be fine if we don't finish on New Year's, but it would be cool if we do. But I would need to calculate and being able to complete a whole round every day, plus like 2 rounds during the weekend. And my feeling is just telling me that it's not convinced. 2, 4, 6. So yeah, Friday will be my last stream before New Year. Not New Year's, before Christmas. I am hoping to be able to schedule in a stream between Christmas and New Year's. And then it's gonna be in the new year. December is just a month of maniacs for me. Two, 4, 6, 8. Oh, wait. And then I'm yawning. Do, 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 do. I've also had it really cold lately. Like you can really feel it's gotten winter, so to say. Um, so I've been able like I freeze really easily. I'm a bit warmer today, it seems like, but I've really had some cold moments. I've been thinking if I needed to knit myself some leg warmers, which is basically just like a ripped knit hat, with the exception it's gonna be smaller because it's um it's gonna just fit around your legs for heat. Or maybe I just need to buy them. It might be easier. I don't know. Leg warmers used to be a thing when I was a child. I remember they were really in fashion back in the 90s. Did you ever do leg warmers when you were younger? Was whining about me always being cold around my feet to my partner yesterday. And I was like, when I moved here in the winter, I wore slippers indoor. Now I wear shoes to keep my feet warmer because the shoes are closed rather than the slippers that's being open. I started with slippers, then I had extra socks on the slippers. Now I have shoes. So I said to him, maybe the next step is that I need to use winter boots indoors. And he was being like looking at me as if I'm crazy. I was like, the problem is, once I have issues then with my winter boots, what's the next step? And he was just being like, yeah. And I was like, I know what you need to get me for Christmas. I need one of those, it's a contraption which is like fluffy and warm, and you can use it as an electrical blanket, but it's made for feet, like a feet warmer thingy. So that's what I need. Um, I'm not sure if he was too convinced about it though. It's just like, in worst case, I can wish it for my birthday. Rev says I just went back and ordered my current PC in 2018, but it was a pre-order got in 2019. I need some battery powered hunting socks. Maybe. But I was thinking on I'm trying to see if I can like uh food warmers. Is it like electrical food warmer thingy? Can't get them. It's like, um they're not that expensive either. It's like $25. That's cool. They need to give me that one. 3 different heats, sizes, etc. I'm like, yes, that's what they need to get me. Well, not the best reviews, but it's basically just a feet warmer. Electrical feet warmer. Yes, please. Have you mentioned this to your doctor? Poor circulation can be an issue with many causes. Um, I need to mention it, and I'll see my doctor sometime in the new year. Reminds me, I just had an email being like, please preserve your time, or please preserve your appointment. But I'm not really sure when the appointment will be, if that's first in February or when it is. I'll have to check. 2, 6, 7. That's maybe actually worth a check because I saw it late last night and I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But Time is kind of running. Um, that's reality. Um, it's gotten worse. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a combination of poor condition and poor circulation. I do try to go to the fitness, except for the fact I have first have time this weekend because everything else, like when I do have time, the fitness center is closed. That's the short version of it. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, oh goodness, it was the day before yesterday. Please log in on our website to plan your appointment. Okay. Was like a remembering thingy. Reminder. I can log in to plan my appointment. So I need to get a text, the code. Oh. Oh. It's not the right one I typed in. Well, then I understand it doesn't work. That was better. Take care, Susan. Wonderful to see you. That's an old photo. My goodness, that was the one I had short hair. Crazy. So I can basically plan appointment. Let's see when they want to do this. In February. That's not going to work out on the dates they suggest. But that might work. Actually. Okay, done. Let's see. So we are gonna do back into the double crochets. There are so many things I need to do, but it's just all kind of been postponed due to other aspects. Um, I wish you a wonderful day, Susan. They're progressing nicely, those squares, Rev. They're definitely coming along nicely. So I promised you guys that I was gonna make a video for Christmas presents, and I'll be doing that um, for sure. It's just gonna be a quick, short one. Um, but yeah. Do, 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 do. 2, 4, 6. But I would say we are progressing nicely today on Fleur. We should definitely reach to finish this round of teal. It's actually not teal, it's petrol, but it's technically a teal color, I would say. Except it's not really looking super teal for you guys yet. If I do like this, maybe. But yet, it's a little bit more dark grayish on the tone than the coloring is in reality. So the camera isn't completely true to color. That could be due to the lights I have. So local grocery stores just sent me the weirdest email. Gift ideas under 20. First item was a bag of flour. I'm not sure what signal that sends a gift. Here, please bake me a piece of bread or a cake or something like that. Interesting. On the other hand, if you're broke, I'm sure flowers would be really nice. Um, you know, I genuinely wish for everybody to have enough um, so that they can have a decent Christmas. Everybody should have that chance. Amanda is asking me if petrol is the last color. No, it's bottle green. So I have a green after this, and then I have a bottle green. Um, But once I'm done with this row, which is like this much plus another side, I have 14 rows to go. So we are definitely closing up. The problem is just a row is more than 900 stitches. um, and my time is limited. So I need to wake up in the morning and only crochet. But I'm not so sure my boss would agree that is desirable. Actually, he definitely wouldn't agree that's a good plan. Of course, it didn't help that I came home from being away and my colleague who's supposed to have handled my things have been doing it, but not as much as I thought she would have. Plus, I'm also handling uh, the work for my Swedish colleague, uh, doing her basic tasks. So, Amanda, I am sort of being Swedish at the moment. Um, I'm learning Swedish slang for marketing because I need it for my work. 2, 4, 6, 8. It means that at the end of this month, I've had some overtime, um, which I'm gonna trade in for time because financially in the Netherlands, it really sucks getting overtime paid out. They charge you full tax on top, no deductions of any kind. It's just full tax brackets. No matter what tax bracket you fall into, you just get the full tax bracket for your overtime. And honestly, I'd rather have an extra day off doing nothing. You need Swedish slang, lol. What are you needing it for? Um, my so I do affiliate marketing for my current employer, and they have a Swedish website that needs updated, and I help with that. Um, while my Swedish colleague is on vacation until and with Monday. It's not much. It's just a few things, but so I am finding rabattkode and Abjutna, Rea, all these things. And of course, I did some Scandinavian as well this weekend, past week, because there was a lot of athletes from Sweden and Norway. There was also some Danish and some Germans and some English and the Dutch people. So I was like talking 4 languages as well, by the way, in Luxembourg. So I was definitely well used after completion. We do everything the IKEA way. Yes. Also, the Swedish marketing is unique. They send you components of the hat and you need to assemble it yourself. It kind of feels like it. Um, yeah. Basically, the company I work for, they have voucher code sites, discount code sites, and we help different markets across the globe um, getting discount codes for stores. And I handle their Danish site. Um, my Swedish colleague obviously handles their Swedish site. Um, have a Norwegian handling Norwegian, Finnish handling Finnish, etc. Dutch people handling Dutch, German handling Germans, and so on. But sometimes when we need to have time off, we need to have somebody to help cover for us. And that is usually preferable if a Scandinavian language covers for Scandinavian and so on. Um, so that's the short version. And she's off on vacation, so I'm helping. She's helping me on Tuesday when I'm driving to Denmark. And Wednesday, I'm just going to be off because I don't really think that people buy a last minute Christmas present on the 24th of December, given the fact that we in Denmark celebrate Christmas on the 24th. 2, 4, 6, 7. So that's the short version of my current job, and it's a wonderful job. It's lovely. It's flexible. My employees is very understanding of the situation with my family, needing to travel back and forth and so on. And yeah, so it's not all negative. Like there's been some positive things. Mom has gained weight. So overall, one would say she's improving. It's just the uncertainty of the news we got, I guess, and that's killing, right? Um, I'm trying to look at it positively, but it's really darn difficult. And I think it's because I don't want to disappoint myself. So, heading into that last side of this round, we do have another round of teal. So I'm doing after this side, it's a round of cream. And then it's one more round of this teal slash petrol color. Then another round of the cream. Then, my friends, we are heading into greens. I still did an extra row of the blue here. So this is Emperor, and then we went into the French Navy, and now we're working on this teal. And as I said, these colors is really not really good on this screen. Well, it's a bit better, but we're still not even close. But yeah, so we'll flip this a quarter of a round so we can easier work on it. Ta-ta. Anyhow, I hope you guys are doing great. I need to catch up on all Amanda's advent calendars. She is unpacking gifts from Rita, numbered. That is the thing I need to do. Which has, you know, that's my next catch-up project for when I'm, yeah, it's a good project for just when you're crocheting. Can get all jealous. Four, six, seven. Oh no! Mini Me will soon be home with me being sick. I'm getting some help getting her to and from daycare. What's up? Are you down with the flu? Or are you just having cold like me? No energy for the walking. That almost sounds like COVID. Which I feel I had last month, but I don't know if I actually did. And then, we were in the car on the way home Sunday, and I was like saying to my partner, "Oh, honey, I don't feel very well. I fear I'm getting another cold." And he was like, "Yeah, I just heard you in Luxembourg, the flu is running again and it's spreading with quarter, like, so like triple or quarter times as quickly as what it normally does. Like it's hyper spreading. So I was like, oh, I don't need that. I really don't need that. And I have to say, I'm not as hardly hit as I thought I would be, but I do have a tendency for coughing and stuff like that. So I do have a mild cold, but I'm not as sick as I thought I would be. So definitely not with how I felt Sunday. Sunday, I was really knackered, being like, you gotta be kidding me. I've no idea, but no one else around me seems to get sick, so it's not spreading. So that's good. Or at least it means that you're not contagious anymore. You could have been contagious. It might behoove you to mask up at events going forward. Normally, that really shouldn't be a need. The thing is, masking up is actually to protect people around you, not so much to protect yourself. Um, but the point is good as such. Nobody seemed sick when we were there. A fun fact is, um, in 2022, we were there, and a friend of mine were there, and he got COVID when he was there, and he stayed. And the day before he kind of turned in sick, so to say, and got confined to his hotel room, we gave each other a hug, and I did not get sick. So I don't know what to think about all this. It's just me being massively, I don't know, probably need to carry one in the airport too when I'm traveling. So crazy. On the other hand, I've soon had all the strands you can possibly get, so I should get immune to this shit. um, Trying to look at the bright side of things. Always look at the bright side of life. Okay, I'm not whistling very well, but I guess you are getting the Monty Python aspect that I was hinting at. Um, it has something, it does. That is what we are supposed to look at the bright sides of life. Mhm. Something completely different. Yes, please. While we're looking at the bright sides of life. 2 for 6. Mhm. Meanwhile, I have Monty Python playing in my headphones, trying to be happy, crocheting. I'm in your guys' company. Can't be much better right now. Revenant made an infinity scarf. Normally I would share it, but guys, I'm currently pretty incapacitated due to my streaming software. But the infinity scarf looks nice. I want to make some infinity scarves, though knitted ones. Um, 4, 6, 8. And I was debating if I should bring that with me as well. Um, but I also promised my partner that I would um, not be as crafty this Christmas as I was last time we were in Denmark, because according to him, it was a bit boring that we were just crafting all the time. Um, so it's mainly for in the car. Is currently the plan, I think. Do-do, do-do, do-do. So that is what we are aiming at. And then I don't know how much I'll get done when I'm there because, yeah, me being realistic. 2, 4, 6, 8. That was made as a part of John's taco challenge. Make a complimentary piece to a Jan the product you've made. I had already made the hat, which you shared last stream, and therefore took the PDQ pattern for it. Okay. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that Amanda is also not feeling well. It's just this time of year where people get sick, I guess. Oh, I don't want to listen to this. That's not what I signed up for. Ah, yeah. 'Almost just half a row left. Girls and ladies and gentlemen, 2, 4, 6. So we need 8. That is going straight forward here. 4, 6, 8. heading to the centerpiece or the middle of this line or row side. Technically, it's a side. So since we're working in a rectangular shape, um, we have 4 sides, and each of them are identical. I do feel I could do a little bit like this, maybe. It's maybe better. Maybe a bit better. This is exactly halfway on a side, which means I have like 100 and some odd stitches to go on this round, because it is the 4th side that I'm currently working on. Fun facts. And this blanket is huge. I can feel its weight in my lap. And I need to sit it with it like this to work on it, because having it all on the table makes it impossible to work on, literally. Two, four, six, seven. Then we head back to the doubles. That wasn't in the back loop. I also have more than enough yarn left right now on the cake, so that's a good thing. Which I also expected to have, given the fact that I used more on the French Navy, as we did, and row extra of that one instead of opposite. And I feel it's going to work out nicely still, like this. It does mean that that I'll probably have a bit more teal left once I'm done. What I'm gonna do with, I have a few leftovers from, obviously, from these colors, and I'm probably gonna maybe even triple strand them and knit scrap yarn hats. Is my current thought. Or I could crochet them, for that matter. But I'm probably just gonna multi-strand them and do the rip knit beanies, and then when a color runs out, I'll just take the next color row and join in. That's my current thought. But obviously that decision can first be made once I finish this blanket and see how much scrap yarns I have. I'll try to calculate if we can do something along those lines. Because I don't know else what to use these scrap yarns on, to be honest. On that point count, I am out of ideas. I've also been looking at maybe donating some of my makes to homeless shelters here. Um, for 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Something is not adding up here. Yeah. Oh shit! I know why. I did 2 stitches in 1 stitch. Then I understand I get 9. Have anyone been reading a good book? Not lately. I haven't been reading much lately at all, actually, to be honest. What type of book are you looking for? I used to read a lot. Been reading the Temeraire series by Naomi Novak of late. It says me like nothing. I'll have to Google that. 2, 4, 6, 8. That looks better. Temeraire. Napoleon period layers history, imagination, and fantasy, adding the Dragon Air Force to the battle. Okay. Interesting. According to this, there's 3-book series. Doesn't sound bad. But wasn't familiar with them. I have to read about those later for sure. What if they had dragons? Yeah, well, it becomes a little bit of a Game of Thrones kind of feeling. That had definitely been different if they had dragons back then, I'm sure. Um, I like the history aspects. I have been in the past. I've read quite a bit of the Ken Follett. He made the Pillars of Earth, amongst a few. Not fantasy, but very much history, and actually quite good. Naomi Novik is an amazing author. She does a lot of dark fairy tales. I will have to check her out. But this isn't particularly fairy tale like. Um, Uprooted and Spinning Silver are both fantastic, also by her. Yep. I'll have definitely to check her out. I did. Um, I watched the Netflix series Shadow and Bone, but they should be based on books as well. I'm just not sure of the author, to be honest. Um, it was a really, really nice one, but I am. It's based on Shadow and Bone and Six Crows by Lee Bardugo. I think Shadow and Bone was a really, really nice series on Netflix, and I'm so sad they cancelled it. So they only have season 1 and 2. Season 3 won't be made, which I personally think is a shame. I think it was made really well. And it was refreshing to see new authors, actors, like not just this, the standard ones, So I think it could be a good read actually, because then you could get the whole story. So maybe that's what I need to consider to do. It's the Grishaverse novels. So I will definitely need to consider maybe reading those books. I think that could be good. But I also admit that I've not been that much into book reading the later years. Because I guess I've done other things. Crocheting. I can't read while I'm crocheting, or I'd need to have like a book stand or something like that in front of me. Um, so if I would start reading, I would not crochet, which would be fine, obviously, if um, I had no other obligations like work. I need to retire. I'm ready for my pension, mates. Sign me up. And I'm not even working full time. Sad, huh? I am ready for retirement. But the sad story is I can't survive on my savings, not to the end of my days. Life felt so much easier 12 years ago, honestly. 13 years ago. There's a few other things that I struggled with 13 years ago, though, but generally, I felt I had more freedom to just do stuff. But that said, I might have different worries back then, and I can't really figure out which are the better ones. Choices, choices, choices. I'm trying to say to young people when they're like, oh, I just want to be an adult so I can decide my own things. Please enjoy your childhood as long as it lasts. The worries you have back then is very tiny compared to what you can get later on in life. That, my friends, is very realistic of things. It is so much different later on in life. You know, having to earn money to pay bills and stuff like that because it's not just paid for you automatically by your parents. And to some extent, a lot of my freedom then was also due to the fact that I was so lucky to have a partner who had a good job, who did not need me to, who still has a good job actually, but did not need me to pay rent and stuff like that. So I needed a lot less income to do what I needed. I could use more back then, but I didn't necessarily need, which somehow gave a feeling of freedom, where while I do feel reasonably amount of freedom in my current job, I still need to organize vacation and somebody can replace me if I'm not there, and I need to have enough days and stuff like that, because else I can get to bring my work with me. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That is exactly how it is. And the thing is, I've tried both sides of the fence, and I definitely did not like the side I was on during COVID. Um, I liked the financial aspect of it, like the fact that I had every month a set income coming in, but I did not like the limitations that came with it. I think that is a good way to say it, because I felt rather limited, um, much more limited actually than I am in a current job. 2, 4, 6, 7. The current job is great, but yet it does take a certain amount of time that I need to do, and if I did have the opportunity to do something else, I'd rather do that. I'll be completely honest about that too. 2, 4, 6. Guess got what, guys? 3 more double crochets. And then this round is complete. Ta-ta. Just need to close it up here. And grab the white. And we still have a little bit of time. So I'm not going to be able to do a whole side. And as you can see, we still have ends. I need to weave in some ends here. That's a fact. But I also said, maybe at the end of video, I'm likely first going to weave in these end at the very end, because the blanket is slowly getting too big, so that when I flip them around, it's preferably that I just get it all done at once. And I could easily work with it from here, but I think I'd rather just get it done, if that makes sense. Now we need to carry the yarn. So that we will do. And then, my dear friends, we need to flip. So this is what I currently have left of the teal. And this is what we are working with. It's very bright though. That is due to the light. That's the cream. It's going on my yarn spindle. Then I need to repatterns, because guess what? I do not know by means where we are. This one I kind of remembered in my head, this row, after we did the first. It was pretty easy. But now, my friends, we finished row 115. And we're about to start row 116. And I do have another 20-ish minutes, 15, 20 minutes where we can work on it. And I should do that to get as much done as possible. It's plausible, it's possible to get some more work done. Haha. Yes. So I need to start with a regular corner, so a single corner crochet, which is in that stitch, which is sort of hiding here. And a single crochet like that. And then I need to do 4 single crochets, which is these. Easy peasy. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Need to do 5 doubles, 8 singles, 3 doubles, 8 singles. Okay. So we'll do that. I think this was 6 the row before, so and the other 7. So that kind of matches up so far. As I said, we have 14 rows left, but we have less, my friends, than well, we have exactly 14 days until New Year's. But I'm not able to complete a row every day, so we still have lots of work to go. 2, 4, 6. Okay, I need to do all the way until the end of this one. So I think the goal for me is just to do my very best. And that is going to be it. So that was the 3, and then we need to go back and do 8 single, 5 doubles. So that will be 5 doubles. But yeah, I should definitely spend some time tomorrow to cake up the 2 remaining yarns. Well, probably also some cream. The cream does last a bit longer because I first change the cream when cream runs out, where the colors I do change as the color row indicates it needs a change, with a tiny detail that, of course, that I did do the extra round of navy compared to the petrol for how these rounds are worked out. Let's see. So yeah, I need to do that either tomorrow or Friday, but I think tomorrow might be better because I do have some extra time on my hands tomorrow. Alternative is that's also something I've considered. I could go live tomorrow instead of Friday, but I'm not sure how that works out because people used to be doing Fridays. Um, as I said, Friday is Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner. So I will have to cut it short regardless. Tomorrow I'll also need to cut it short. So it doesn't really matter. And then I question myself if it could be less stressful if I'll just do it tomorrow instead. Um, that, my friends, is the big question. But maybe just stick to schedule and do Friday. And then tomorrow I get to wrap presents and pre-record and wind up yarns and stuff like that. Yeah, you can actually really see on the camera that I'm using a brighter color because it all seems to have gotten a bit brighter in the light and it's reflecting a bit more, even though I didn't change anything to the camera settings. Fun fact 2, 4, 6, 8. Then we need 5. But yeah, so far this is going good. This row is not too complicated, so that's nice. I do count, but not. I don't have the over feeling that I'm extremely counting. Like some rows definitely been worse than this one. Good. I need to check here. 8. And then I have a chisel turn of 3s all the way until the single. So we'll do that. We are heading towards the middle of this row, the side. I keep calling the sides rows, but it feels like it's a row because there's so much in turning them to the next side. And friends, there are 231 stitches on this side. 231 stitches. That's more than 900 stitches all the way around. That is quite a fair bit. So that was, and then I need to do 3 double again. And a single. 3 double again. Then it's 2 single. Ah, it's closing in here. I get it. Three and 2. Yep. So what's for dinner everywhere? Here I'm just gonna flip together an omelette. Um, Tomorrow we're eating with my in-laws. Friday we are going out for the Christmas dinner with my partner's company. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. This weekend, I guess, get last minute stuff fixed. Monday work and pack. Tuesday we are off. Two, four, six, eight. 8 singles. Fits. Yay! So far, my counting still matches up. That is awesome. Fish and chips tonight. Tomorrow, I'm making chicken braised in a salsa verde to take to potluck for Stitch Group's Christmas party. That sounds nice. That sounds nice. Yeah, so it should be live Friday. But by now, I would definitely also not be there anymore. So, like, it's gonna be a short live, but I'll be live Friday. I made my decision. Then I have time to get everything else fixed tomorrow. And if I don't reach it tomorrow, I can still reach to technically cancel Friday's live in worst case. 6/8. I just need to make sure everything is settled and good to go. Plus, Friday, technically, I work an hour less. But I may not, based on how busy it is at work. Um, because as mentioned, I am covering for a colleague as well on top on my own work. Um, so that is extra. I already used some of my overtime for a day off here in December, so I'm like not costing me vacation days. That's nice. Um, but I'll still have extra time over. So I'll request them as time for time, which should be fine. What I'm most curious about is if I'll get a salary increase due to inflation at the new year, or if we had just kept it the same. Like, they seem really nice and so on, but I don't like to take things for granted. Technically, we should, I guess. But if it happens, I don't know. Mm, 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 mm. Would be nice. So I'm gonna do these 8 single crochet stitches. And that's not completely the end of the row, but we did get more than halfway, which is more than I had thought. Like these 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. We are definitely more than halfway. Because I only need like this. You know what? Actually, I want to do that. I'll do that too, because then the side is complete and it gives a sense of, yeah, fulfillment to have this completed. And that part didn't take that long, so I am, while not trying to rush things because I really don't want to frog things, I'm sort of getting how this wide is working up. So there we are, the 5 double crochets. We are heading for the last few stitches. Now, it would be really nice if I could reach to finish this later today, but I'm not so sure because, as I said, I am I'm out of the house most of the evening. It is plausible. I have a little time before I leave. Maybe I can reach to do another side. I was proud of myself last night because I actually went to bed on time. Okay, so what is the last bit here? It is, I just did these and 3, and then I'll do 8 again. This is 7. Okay. What I recall it's supposed to be. So as I said, this row seems friendly enough to remember once you kind of get the pattern of it. And the next is just then a question of repeating it. So 2 for 5, and then we have 4 single crochets and a single corner. So we'll do 2, 3, 4 single crochets, and then we have the corner here, which I'll work in. And just because I'm now so close, I'll just do the first 4 single crochets of the first of the second one, the following side, because it's kind of in the single crochet pace. Then we'll insert a stitch marker, and the next is the double crochet. So we just did a bit more than the corner, as you can see. But that's just 4 stitches, so I'm fine with that. It still stops at a nice place corner-wise. I like to stop at the corners because it kind of folds it easier when you have all these um, threads. Basically, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's stream. The plan is that I'm back Friday. It is going to be a bit of a shorter stream on Friday. Hopefully, no tech issues. What I'm going to do is I am going to uninstall OBS and reinstall it. I hope that fixes things. There is a bunch of things I would need to get fixed doing that. So I don't know if I'll have it done by then and everything ready and set up to run, and if it actually works. So it could be that we're still doing the basic stream, and if that's the case, I'm fine because it worked. Then we'll figure it out for the new year. So I'm going to say thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifting memberships. And if you've watched the stream until now, thank you so much for your support. Take care and happy crafting, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.